Ming-Na Wen is really like...
She'll make a man out of you.
Well, she will. But she will also make her money from Disney.
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Jedi in Exile. I am Brian, and as always, unfortunately, I am joined by my co-star, Matthew. So today we're continuing with our Bad Batch reviews. We are on episode 8.
We are?
Which is called Bad Territory.
Yes. You have to check that one.
I did just have to quickly look, even though I looked before the video. So Bad Territory. Yeah, talk to me about your thoughts on this episode.
So, obviously...
That was a big so.
Yeah, well. Maybe did I like it? Didn't I like it? Stick around for the video to find out. No, I think good episode. Shocker.
Yeah.
Good episode. But interesting episode.
Mm.
The Batch were just back together. Now they're not.
Mm. Mm.
This was the side mission that we were waiting for in
There's
this
always
series.
a side mission. Yeah. I'll do something for you, but I'm gonna need you to do something for me.
It's like when you play an RPG and it's like, how many side missions you got to do before you can actually do the main quest?
Yeah. Old friend alert.
Yes.
In this one.
Yes. Well, technically, 2 old friend alert? Is Fee an old friend or a new friend?
Oh no! Have we seen Fee in this series?
We've
so
seen
far?
Fee in this series.
No, so I suppose an old friend alert, but with the real old friend
middle-aged
alert.
friend alert?
Yeah. The old friend alert, of course, we're referring to
Big Fennec Shand.
is Fennec Shand, who's
Big
just in
Fennec
everything,
Shand.
isn't she now?
I mean, Ming-Na Wen is really like...
She'll make a man out of you.
Well, she will. But she will also make her money from Disney.
Yeah.
Because she is
she
getting
will.
everywhere.
Yeah, she is.
No.
No, so yeah, talk to me about this episode in general, like what your
So
thoughts were.
I think obviously Fee came back.
Yeah.
So we got the really, really great kind of interaction where Crosshair's like, "Who is this person?"
Yeah.
And Omega said something along the lines of like,
She's a liberator of ancient wonders.
There we go. And then it's okay, she's a pirate.
Yeah. And it's definitely, I'm not Yoda. Okay, I'm Yoda.
There is one for all the Family Guy Star Wars fans right there.
That's the vibe that I got off that comment. Yeah, it made me did make me laugh.
She's a really great person. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, maybe not. Maybe not.
Yeah.
So
She's
no,
like a female Lando. Like you
I see
like
that.
her,
I
you
see
like
that.
her, but she's a bit
Bit
dodgy. You
scoundrel,
wouldn't?
bit of a
Would you
scoundrel.
really trust?
Yeah.
You know, would you really trust her when push comes to shove?
No, I see that. So, I wouldn't
No.
if that
No,
question was not
yeah.
rhetorical.
No.
So obviously Hunter and Wrecker disappear off.
Mhm.
Off the back of the last episode, we had the whole. They really need to kind of find out why Omega is important to the Empire.
Yeah.
So that they're better equipped to kind of deal with what's coming at them. So obviously they disappear off, and actually we kind of got quite a cool little like thing of them being essentially bounty hunters because they were helping
Yeah.
Fennec chase down a bounty. So they kind of ended up on that like swampy
A galaxy far, far away, but somehow outback Australia. Or like
outback Australia
Venezuela.
or Florida.
Yeah.
The swamps of Florida.
Yeah.
Did you do the same as me though and see the Rhodian guy and be like,
It's
Greedo? Greedo?
Yeah.
Could it be Greedo?
Every Rhodian I see, I'm like, is that Greedo?
Also, spoiler alert, it's not Greedo.
No, unfortunately.
That we
it's
know
not.
of.
Yeah. Yeah, Dave Filoni, I'm sure, will do something. He will do something in about 10 years' time and say, yeah, that Rhodian
There'll be a
you saw,
series called
it was
Greedo,
Greedo.
and he'll be some guy.
Every Rhodian we've ever seen.
He got his start
Yeah.
renting out like weird boats on that planet.
Yeah, I love it. Something that actually intrigues me, which obviously, well, I'm saying it's obvious. I'm thinking it's going to be resolved in this series. Is we obviously know, and we've spoken about this before, that Rex, clearly from Rebels, we know how his story ends. However, with Echo, there's still some unanswered questions there, and I'm intrigued to see. Obviously, Echo is kind of a co-leader with Rex of these clones that are trying to figure out obviously what's happening. So I'm intrigued to see if Echo does actually, die. Pretty much. I'm intrigued to see how his story's going to end.
Going to be the same question for a lot of the batch as well,
yeah.
but obviously, Echo seems to be
because Echo's
more
sort of in
part
it,
of
and
this,
then he
like,
isn't he?
This rebellion, like
Yeah.
the like rebellious clones, the mutinous clones.
Well, he left the batch, didn't he, to go and help more clones?
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, that's just a little side bit. I'm waiting for something to happen to Echo, and obviously not in a good way because we know all these.
Feel like unless he gets a fake hand, he's not. They're not gonna pull a Rex and be like, he was this guy in the back of this scene
he's
in
not really
Empire.
conspicuous. Yeah, he was actually in the Mos Eisley Cantina when Luke and Obi-Wan found Han.
See when it does the weird close up of like R2 using the little arm. That was actually Echo. It was actually Echo's scomp link going in. No, I think you're right.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, mark the date. But no, you're right. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see how all of them kind of get on. The thing that I quite liked about this was it was kind of an episode of 2 parts in that we also got more Omega Crosshair interaction and storytelling and relationship building.
And
which was quite nice to see.
And Crosshair realising how much he's actually missed out from the battle, how much the batch have done in the time
while he's been away.
So yeah, I think there's a few comments made, isn't there? And he's like, oh, well, like the Fee thing, how do you know Fee? Like there's obviously quite a few different tales of Fee around, and then there's a mention of a couple of other things, and yeah, you definitely get the sense Crosshair now probably is regretting obviously what he did and staying with the Empire, but thinking actually the batch pretty much did just move on without him.
Who could blame him?
Which is quite sad. But yeah, the comment as well. Sorry, there's always this thing. There's this. I don't know the word for it, but they always in movies in Hollywood they just set you up for something.
The foreshadowing.
And in this episode, it was a watch the water when they've hired the from Greedo
the like boat thing.
The cruiser whatever, and Fennec's like, oh, watch the water. I wouldn't go near the water. You're like, oh god,
they're going to
go near the water.
Going to the water.
Yeah. And then of course they go in the water with the mines, and then have these swamp monsters.
There's always a monster.
Attack them. Yeah, and there's always
these ones not so big.
There's always a bigger fish.
Stop it.
Liam Neeson.
You stop it.
I know. It's another episode. This is episode 8 of Brian doing bad impressions.
Can we get a series impression count on the bottom of the video right
ding!
Now? No, I think there was there always over the past few episodes been like a few standout lines. So obviously the pirate one we've touched on, the water one we've touched on. The other one was the whole money's not everything.
Oh, what a line.
Delivered in such a good way.
That's because you don't have any. Oh, yeah, it's just chef's kiss.
Chef's kiss.
It really is.
Chef's kiss.
Yeah, no, I loved that line. And I like the revelation just before that from Fennec about we find out that the bounty, Nala Say put a bounty on Omega, and we always thought sort of in series 1 that was because the Kaminoans just wanted Omega back, obviously to not for good means,
to continue using her for whatever that it was.
Which we now know obviously really what they wanted to do, but yeah, for their own sort of nefarious means. Whereas actually, Fennec saying the bounty was called off because whoever put the bounty on realised that Omega was going to be safer with you guys. That kind of puts what we thought in series 1, puts Nala Say in a different bracket. I mean, I still don't like her because she talks too slow. But I suppose
I don't know what you're talking about. No, I get what you're saying. And yeah, I think this is that whole... There was always a little bit of a question mark, wasn't there? Until this series, there was always the question mark of, did Nala Say actually really care about Omega, or did Nala say care about Omega because she was a means to an
the
end?
asset, yeah.
Yeah, and obviously when she helped her escape
Mm.
this time round, that kind of cemented.
Yeah, we knew that clearly she cared for Amiga's safety. She'd obviously grown close to Amiga. So yeah, I think that it was just an interesting little sort of tidbit, if you like, from the episode. That it's something that kind of stood out for me. That, you know, even back then, it wasn't just about Amiga as an asset for the Kaminoans. It was genuine care.
Yeah.
Which yeah, I thought was quite
Also
nice.
quite wholesome that she basically kind of was like, these clones have accepted her and will look after her better than I can.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, realizing almost like the greater good. Yeah, absolutely better off with the batch instead of me. So that was cool. And then obviously we end the episode with this
big old question mark.
Well, Fennec first of all says, if you do this side mission for me, then
I'll help you out.
I'll help you out. Well, she says I'll give you answers. She then doesn't give answers, which if I was, I think Hunter played it quite cool. I'd have been raging. However, we do get this mysterious figure.
We do.
Quite a few guesses already as to who that might be.
Okay, hit me. Top three guesses.
The top guess, and I think it's pretty safe to say the fact that she hasn't been in it yet, she's probably going to be in it soon. In the trailer, we saw Ventress. Now, you know, that is pretty much who we think it is. There's been a few other comments online, and off the top of my head, I can't think of the next one. But for me, I mean, surely it can only be Ventress.
Well, I guess it could be somebody random.
It could just be
no one.
Yeah.
It could.
I feel like it's got to be someone that we already know. Only because the way that they've left the episode, that it ended on this obviously mysterious figure. I feel like it's got to be somebody that we know, because it's sort of building that.
If it was somebody that we didn't know,
interest.
I feel like they would have just
used
shown
their voice.
who it. Just shown who it was.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because we would have been like, "Who's that?"
Yeah, but we keep, I think, wondering when Ventress is going to come back into it. And Ventress was obviously such a cool character in Clone Wars that we're like, oh, surely she was in the trailer. She's going to be in like all the episodes.
Well, halfway through the series.
Yeah, exactly. And we've been waiting and waiting and waiting. So, yeah, I mean,
let us know down in the comments below what you guys think. Who you think is going to be. Interested to find out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Roll on next week so that we can find out.
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah, but no, I thought this was a really solid episode. Again, we're building to stuff now. Now the batch have decided that they've got to find out why Amiga is key. We obviously, as an audience, are going to find out why Amiga is key. So the series is in a really good place at the moment, considering we've got 7 more episodes left. If this was episode 8, yeah, and there's going to be 15 episodes.
Yeah, 7
so
episodes.
We've got 7 episodes left.
Quick maths, Big Shack.
Thank you. So, honestly, idiot. Why do I do this with you? So, 7 episodes left. We are surely getting into the meat of this now. So, really exciting times, and we'll see where we go from here.
We will very much. We will indeed.
Very muchly.
Very muchly. Yeah, you guys let us know your thoughts. Let us know on socials. Let us know
Please
down
do.
in the comments as well if you're watching on YouTube. And yeah, be interesting to see what happens next week.
Yeah, absolutely.
See whether your prediction was right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Other than that, guys, we will catch you all real soon in the next one.
May the force be with you all.